Welcome back to Dark Souls 2. We're going to finish our Cloud Top adventure in the Dragon Shrine and meet the inhabitant of Dragon Shrine at the end of this small area. So, it's quite a straightforward and linear area. There's really only three different types of enemies. These guys are Drake Keepers. You fight them much in the same way that you would fight the old knights of Hades Tower of Flame. You just circle strafe around them, and you've just got to be a bit more wary of their attacks because they deal more damage clearly than the old knights. And it doesn't help when you've got that lightning ball that knocks you off your feet and onto your ass, bearing down on you from above. And it's actually from you can see up in the kind of further up, there you go, you can see it now. It's a dragon priestess, and she's firing these lightning balls at you from distance, and it's quite annoying because you can't actually retaliate properly against her. Well, at least in this version of Dark Souls 2, which was a couple of months ago. I think even when I tried with the Hawk Ring I was unable to reach her from where I'm trying to hit her from. Oh no, I say that and then I hit her. So yeah, but because she's standing behind the ledge, it's kind of difficult actually to get her, so really you're better just leaving her until a wee bit later on. You've got the Pharaoh's Lockstone behind the first Drake Keeper, and this will give you access to this treasure chest which contains the Judgment set of armour and the Staff of Wisdom. And the Judgment set of armour, if you read the description, refers to Velka from Dark Souls 1. The Staff of Wisdom, the Staff of Wisdom, as I understand it, is best infused with magic and works best with sorceries. So if that's what you're looking for, then that's where you find the Staff of Wisdom. Personally, I prefer the black staff, the one that you get from the Amana witches. Anyway, I just like it because it's versatile. So the next Drake Keeper that you encounter is this one, and this one is a massive pain in the ass. He has infinite stamina. He's just really difficult to fight against because of this infinite stamina issue. He just doesn't let up. He doesn't give you many opportunities to get hits in against him. Really, I would just suggest running past him, coming up the stairs. There's a Drake Keeper above us. The reason I'm standing here is to show you this bug. I think it's a bug where the lightning balls from the Dragon Priestess can actually strike you through walls, which is kind of unfair and annoying. But the first thing you want to do when you come up those stairs is come up here and get rid of the Dragon Priestess. Just take her out instantly. It's interesting that she's up here. So obviously she's hollowed if you look at her face, and you can hear she's like, you know, rumbling and grumbling, making the same kind of sounds that the enemies did in Dark Souls 1 and Sif's Tower of Wisdom, the library. What was it called again? Again, my memory's failing me, but you know what I mean if you've played Dark Souls 1 and you've got those oh god, oh my god, this is so frustrating, honestly. You know what I mean, I'm sure you do. Anyway, in here, Twinkling Titanite. In subsequent New Game Plus playthroughs, I believe it's 3 or 5 Twinkling Titanites that remain in that treasure chest. So make sure that you get them, because it's a good upgrade item. And I would definitely not recommend fighting Drake Keepers simultaneously. I would recommend, taking them on one at a time. You can really avoid that slightly later on in the level, but here with this one with the infinite stamina, it really doesn't pay to fight these two at once. But again, this was an unusual situation because clearly I had the Drake Keeper from up above had fallen off the ledge and made his way down there, so normally that wouldn't happen. And this is, it says something, you get with the Drake Keeper's armour there, you can see the item description states that something dark eats away inside them, and I think that suggests that they've been corrupted, obviously. It also mentions that they're staunch defenders of the resident of Dragon Shrine. So clearly, that they're adherents of well, not adherents. I would suggest that they believe in something, but maybe they do believe in something. Loyal believers of some cause, maybe. Protecting the shrine, and I guess they act as adjudicators, judging the merits of the people that venture this far and come to meet the resident of Dragon Shrine. Anyway, I'm rambling on here. This is the Drake Keeper's Great Axe. Some people say it's the best Great Axe in the entire game. It's very heavy, clearly, and it's suited to strength builds rather than anything else. But apparently, it does work well. These two, they're guarding the door that allows you to progress through the level. There's a kind of detour off to the left, round the corner here. Watch out as well, they can cast magic from their sword, so just be wary of that. With these two in subsequent playthroughs, to be honest, I prefer just to poison one of them and deal with the other one. Usually I prefer to poison the mace wielder, the one that's kind of way off in the distance here, just because that mace is totally deadly, and again I think that one's got infinite stamina. So yeah, I'd written down here, why was the Dragon Priestess in Dragon Shrine? What was the purpose of her being here? And she drops the Cleric's Parma and Priestess set if you're looking for that. And I've written very annoying as well, which is true. Oh, that was the other thing about the Dragon Keeper's Great Axe. It has good range, apparently. Did I say Dragon Keeper? Drake Keeper's Great Axe, sorry. But you can see how much damage it does. I mean, well, obviously, if you get hit in real life by something like that, it would, kill you instantly. It wouldn't take off some of your health, you would just be dead or be hit. So you come along here, come down, drop down again, and you'll encounter two treasure chests. And if you look closely at one of the treasure chests, you'll see that there's something slightly different about it. It's got a lock in the front, and you know what that denotes. That means, and you can actually see the teeth just slightly protruding out of the opening. So a mimic, clearly. Petrified dragon bone and the washing pole, and I don't know much about the washing pole. I do like its appearance. I like the fact it's got great length and whatnot. I don't know if it's a viable katana type weapon. I believe the black steel katana is considered to be better than it. So we've got this Drake Keeper who wields a war pick and does a shield bash. Just be careful for that shield bash, it can stun you like there. And the war pick can be quite annoying to deal with as well. Yeah, that shield bash, it's very hard to predict it's coming. It's so fast and quick. And I mean, as soon as you come into that room, the first thing that caught my attention when I walked into that room for the first time is the mural that sits above the door. And we'll talk about that in a moment, but that mural is very... Well, we'll talk about it now, actually. Even before the DLC, it was, I mean, it's clear, just like I said there, that as soon as you stepped into the room, that mural had some kind of special significance or deeper meaning that wasn't, it wasn't necessarily clear before the DLC was released. I like the 3D effect it has, and it looks it's like a very biblical setting, and with people looking up at looking up into the air. If you've ever seen any of these carvings that are religious iconography, you see these same kind of people looking into the heavens. Well, anyway, the whole point is, what I'm trying to say is that it was clear that there was something more, something deeper about that mural, and it is true, that's true. If you've played the DLC, you'll realise that it ties in with the events of the DLC. Anyway, let's move on. The third dragon ring is like this game's ring of favour and protection. Increases health points, 7.5% health point increase, 12.5% stamina and quip load increase. So it's a ring that you'll end up wearing from now on in New Game Plus as well. You also seen that we had a notification that had been invaded by Dragon Fang Villard. This guy has great tracking and decent amount of poise and stamina. So yeah, you just want to. He's guarding. His purpose here is to guard the item that's behind him. You can see it looks like kind of like a boulder or a rock, but it's actually an egg. We'll come to that in a minute. But he's not too difficult really. He has a chance to drop a dragon scale and the black dragon greatsword, and we'll talk about the black dragon weapons in a moment because they're actually very interesting in my opinion. The drop rate from the enemies that wield those weapons are very low. This is the Watts Dragon Parma, and this is absolutely my favourite shield in the game. It's absolutely beautiful to look at. It was one of the shields that was created by fans of, you know, the original Dark Souls and Demon Souls, I guess, who were invited to submit their own designs. It was by a chap called Charles Collier. So Mr. Collier, I think your design was absolutely fantastic. The binary nature of it, with two intertwining dragons, interwoven dragons, serpents, and that they're supposed to be Frampt and Calf, according to the original designer. And this, like it says in the item description, you know, you'll find fortune in the battlefield, and apparently this shield has a hidden effect, which is that it increases item discovery. So we picked up the petrified egg there, and one of the most interesting item descriptions: eggs are vessels that harbour life itself and symbolise the deepest secrets of existence. But what does a petrified egg harbour? And if you give this to somebody late at Magarold in Iron Keep, he will allow you to join the Dragon Remnants Covenant. But yeah, I was thinking about that. It made me really start, you know, stop and think about the significance of the item description. And I guess, you know, and even in real life, you know, eggs, in a way, do symbolise, you know, the secrets of life itself, you know, and they act as incubators for the growth and formulation of new life. I guess there's a better way of saying that, but I guess you'll understand what I mean. And even in real life, we place a lot of significance on egg symbolism. You know, even if the first thing I thought of when I'd read that, I think, was Fabergé eggs. You know, they were designed by the Fabergé family, who were like commissioned by the Russian Tsars to create, you know, their own to create special jewellery and whatnot, and the Fabergé family come up with that design that's, you know, impressed people for centuries. And I think they only made something like, you know, 50 or so Fabergé eggs, and they're worth millions even to this day. Anyway, let's talk about Dark Souls 2, because I'm kind of going off topic now. Well, if you want to make the thingies black and white, the Watts Dragon Parma black and white, there's a mod for that you can get in the Nexus. So these are Dragon Knights, that's what these enemies are called, and they wield the black dragon weapons. So this one I think is using the pick, the war pick, and I love their armour set. I love the appearance of it. It kind of reminds me of the mask, the head piece reminds me of that vendor from Dark Souls 1, Domhnall of what was it again? The guy that you meet for the first time in the depths, and then he goes to, like, you know, he waits in the bridge near the start of the game. But yeah, if you're having trouble with these Black Knights, you can actually poison them from distance, and then, you know, once, because they have a lot of health as well. They have amazing tracking, just like Dragonfang Villard. Use the elevation of the stairs as well to your benefit, and this includes the enemies we're about to deal with now, which are again just Drake Keepers. If you're wanting to farm the Black Dragon weapons and the shield seems to be the one that drops most often, in my opinion, from the Dragon Knights. But if you want to farm the weapons, then the Dragon Knights are the enemies to do that from. And there's one more up there, but we'll come to him in a moment. And the interesting thing about Black Dragon weapons is that it doesn't matter if you wield them against somebody that's using a non-Black Dragon shield, and that person's using a shield that has 100% physical block, the Black Dragon weapons are still capable of going through the 100% block and doing a small amount of damage. But like I say, that counts for the majority of the shields in the game, bar one, which is the one that the Dragon Knights themselves drop, which is called, I think, just the Dragon Knight shield, or the Black Dragon shield. So yeah, so if you're looking for weapons that go through 100% block shields, then the Black Dragon weapons are the ones you're wanting to farm. So we've got one more Drake Keeper to sort out, and then we've got one more Dragon Knight to take care of before we can make our way and meet the elusive resident of Dragon Shrine. So you can see he's wielding he's using the Black Dragon or Dragon Knight shield, and I think it's supposed to resemble like a dragon scale or a dragon talon or something like that. So that was my fault. And what we're going to do now is go on a small detour before we go and speak to the... so we're going to come here to the Iron Keep just to give Magarold the petrified egg.
A petrified egg? From the shrine? Fantastic. Might you give it to me? I'm fascinated by it. I'm begging you.
So you don't really have a choice here. If you want to use him as a vendor, I think you have to give it to him.
Very kind of you.
And he allows you, like I say, to join the Dragon Remnants Covenant. In exchange for giving him the petrified egg, you'll get the Dragon Eye, which is a multiplayer item. I think it allows you to fight other Dragon Remnant Covenant members. And you also get, and you can collect then dragon scales, which allow you to ascend the Covenant, you know, rank up in the Covenant and whatnot. Yeah, ascend in rank. So what else have we got here? Yeah, and you'll also get, there's something else it gives you. Dragon seal. So yeah, this is a Dragon Eye. And I think it's unusual in the sense that when you place the sign down on the ground, that's exactly where the person will spawn into your world, the Phantom. Yeah, in this ring, it increases the amount of health points that you get back from each swig of the Estus Flask. So that was the other item that you get for giving him the petrified egg. I've never used the Ancient Dragon Seal, but I don't really know if it's worth it once you've got a fully upgraded Estus Flask anyway. And you'll blink and you'll miss this in a moment coming up. Oh, this is the third Dragon Ring description. Roelmond, Knight of Dragon Lake, served the king by guarding the fort until his own demise, and was said to have cherished this ring throughout his life of service. So if you blinked you would have missed that, and we got 6 human effigies from the Firekeepers. You can only do that if you've got the King's Ring, and you can only get the King's Ring once you have defeated Vendrick back in the Undead Crypt. So, but if you do, it's worth going back to the Firekeepers to get your 6. Do you actually need to defeat Vendrick to get the King's Ring? No, I think you just get the King's Ring when you, when you go to, when you go to Undead Crypt for the first time. Yeah, I had to run away there. When you go to the Undead Crypt for the first time, and you see the hollowed out king, who's clearly lost his faculties and whatnot, and his armour sets lying in the ground, and I think you pick it up and then you speak to the Emerald Herald. Okay, so yeah, I was having a lot of trouble with this Dragon Knight. You seen a moment ago that I had to run down the stairs to get away from him to heal, and just like the way he killed me, the first time around, exact same, jump attack. And I think I was glad that I'd actually managed to get past him, because like I say, I was having difficulty with him and I didn't want to use poison for some reason. So, we're going to go up and speak to the... It's quite an awesome sight when you see this dragon. Or is it a dragon? It looks like a dragon. So some people speculate that this is Lord Aldea, and this is the result of his experimentation. I think that some of the dialogue here is quite interesting, like these parts coming up. For the curse of life is the curse of want. Curse of life is the curse of never wanting it to end. Not in all cases, but... And so you peer into the abyss in the hope of finding immortality, or of finding a way of escaping the cycle of life and death. And we know that from in the Dark Souls universe there's everlasting dragons. So did Lord Aldea intend to, turn himself into an everlasting dragon to escape death itself, maybe? So we get Ashen Mistheart for speaking to him, and that allows you to go into the memories, the dragon memories, and we'll talk about them in the next episode. What we're going to do now is, as you can see, we're taking on the Ancient Dragon, and this is the easiest way to do this. If you want to do it without cheesing this boss, it's quite an annoying process, it's quite tedious. Instead, what you want to do is go toe to toe, and stand in between its, its toes, just like I'm doing. It has to be the toes that I'm standing, the ones closest into its body. And then just move from hind leg to hind leg, and eventually you'll kill the Ancient Dragon. And look at this, the strange thing is you get the soul of a giant. Rather, you don't actually get like an Ancient Dragon soul. And again, this maybe speaks to the fact that the appearance of the dragon, that maybe that Lord, if it is Lord Aldea used, we know he was experimenting on giants, and you'll remember that there was a room inside Aldea's Keep where there was like a dragon acolyte who was performing experiments on dead giants and then tossing them into the acid pool below where we got the key and whatnot. And this Ancient Dragon Soul, you can only get this after you've got the Ashen Mistheart and you've been back to where you fight the Drukstyr Freya. And in that room where we fought that boss, there's a petrified dragon. And that's where you get that, the Ancient Dragon Soul. So, thanks for watching, and in the next episode we will go into the dragon's memories and explore them. Hope this helped.